thanks to Boğaziçi University for inviting me and for hosting such an important topic and such an important session. We're in a remarkable global crisis right now. All of us, Turkey, the United States, every country in the world battling COVID-19. And this by itself is teaching us the crucial need, once again, for cooperation around sustainable development. It's reminding us how fragile and interconnected our planet is and how urgent it is that we heed the sustainable development goals. You see, COVID-19, as you know, is itself an example of unsustainability, not just in the sense that the virus is disrupting our economies, disrupting our lives, claiming so many victims, but also because this emerging disease, this new virus, is the result of the disruption of nature. In this case, we believe this virus passed from a population of bats, horseshoe bats in southwest China, to humans sometime, perhaps even many years ago, and not being recognized. But by passing from animals to humans, a new disease emerged. And this has been happening with increasing frequency, because it's not just COVID-19 that has hit us, but also SARS and the Middle East Respiratory Syndrome and the Nipah virus and the H1N1 flu and the Zika virus and many others just in the past 20 years. And so scientists are telling us that we have disrupted nature. We have interfered in natural systems in ways that are very dangerous. Well, we know that it's not only new diseases that are posing a global challenge. Think about climate change and all of the havoc that human-made climate change is causing. In the United States this year, we had heat waves, we had floods, we had major hurricanes and tropical storms. We had even the Pacific coastline of the United States on fire, California, Oregon, the state of Washington, massive fires because of climate change. And I know that Turkey and the whole Eastern Mediterranean region has experienced droughts and fires and other crises coming from the human-made climate change. Well, this is just another example of how human beings have upset the natural systems. And so the reason that the world adopted Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs, back in 2015, is that we need to move to a new kind of economy in which we are not disrupting nature so dangerously, and in which our economies globally and within countries are also operating in a more inclusive and fair way. And once again, with this pandemic, with COVID-19, we're seeing how unfair our societies are, because certain parts of our populations are being very hard hit, whereas others are living almost normal lives online or normal jobs online. In some places, children are not in school. In others, they continue to be safely online in school, and so on, with big inequalities hitting our society. The SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, are therefore a global commitment to overcome the environmental crises and to make our economies operate in a fair and inclusive and socially just way. I think that this is so important to understand that the Sustainable Development Goals are not just a painful homework assignment, but they are the direction for a better world and a fairer and more inclusive and more environmentally sustainable world. We actually have 4 environmental crises that we're battling: new diseases, human-made climate change, the loss of biodiversity because how we treat the land, and also the massive pollution. For example, all of the chemical pollutants and the plastics pollutants. We have to fight those 4 environmental crises, and we have to do it in a way in which no one is left behind. Everybody can be included in the new, more sustainable, more fair economy. Now, no country is going to be able to achieve these goals except through global cooperation and cooperation within regions. Think of the great rivers of Turkey and West Asia. They're shared ecosystems. Think of the challenges facing the Mediterranean or the Black Sea. These are shared ecosystems and they require global cooperation. Turkey could do everything to protect the Black Sea, but if the other neighboring countries are polluting it, then there will be no solution. Turkey could do everything to fight climate change, but if China and the United States and the European Union are not doing it, then there will be no solution. So we truly need global cooperation. We also need business, because business produces the products. Business produces the goods and services for society. Business employs people. Business directly and indirectly affects the natural environment. So the SDGs are not only a responsibility of governments, but they are a direction, a compass, and a responsibility of the business community. And one of the most important realities today is that business alignment with the Sustainable Development Goals is vital for the long-term health of a business. If a business says, I don't care about the Sustainable Development Goals, that's something for the United Nations, not something for me, that's something for Boğaziçi University, not something for me, the business is going to end up in a very bad mistake, because the Sustainable Development Goals give us the direction in which societies and the marketplace are moving. One of the big lessons of the Sustainable Development Goals, for example, is the need to move to a renewable energy-based economy, one that is based on wind power and solar power, not on coal, oil, and natural gas. It's ironic to me how much effort businesses are making to try to develop the new natural gas in the Eastern Mediterranean. Turkey, Greece, Israel, all the countries of the region squabbling over whose gas it is. But the truth is, we don't need the gas. We need the sunshine. We need the wind power. We need the hydroelectric power, because we need safe, clean power. We need electricity that comes from renewable energy, not from the fossil fuels. And so business should understand the direction we're moving is to a zero carbon economy based on wind power, solar power. This is where the future marketplace is going to be. We're going to be moving to electric vehicles, not to vehicles based on internal combustion engines and using petrol in the future. And so the Sustainable Development Goals give a roadmap to business on how to align the business activities to be compatible with the future direction of the economy. The capital markets institutions, the stock market, for example, the banking institutions, the reviews by the International Monetary Fund of every country each year in the annual consultations will increasingly have a scorecard based on the Sustainable Development Goals. Companies will have to report in more and more detail, are you aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals? Very briefly, I believe that there are 4 basic criteria to be aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals. First, that the products, the goods and services that businesses produce should be healthful and good for society. In other words, not polluting, not destroying the environment, not creating addictions or bad health, but good for society. Second is the production system of your company environmentally safe and socially sustainable as well, fair to the workers and fair to the communities. Third is the value chain of your company, both your suppliers and your customers, also operating in a sustainable manner aligned with the SDGs. And fourth, are you a good corporate citizen, following the laws, paying the taxes that are due, not trying to get insider advantages of government? I believe that more and more corporations are going to have to report on these 4 dimensions of their business activity. We call them the 4 pillars: the product line, the production process, the value chain, and the good citizenship of companies. Incidentally, today I also have the great pleasure to be addressing a number of Italian companies that are also getting together today in Parma, Italy, to align with the Sustainable Development Goals and to pledge what they call regeneration for 2030, a regeneration of the economic life for climate safety and for well-being and for alignment with the Sustainable Development Goals. That's a good example that in your neighborhood, other countries and businesses are making these steps. And in Europe, as you know, the European Union has adopted a European Green Deal to recover from COVID-19 on the basis of the Sustainable Development Goals and the Paris Climate Agreement, so that Europe will decarbonize the energy system by the year 2050. And with your business and your trade so much integrated with the European Union, this is extremely important also for all Turkish businesses, but especially those that are actively involved in European trade, import, and export as well. Well, let me thank Boğaziçi University once again for this important initiative. I am president of the United Nations Sustainable Development Solutions Network, of which Boğaziçi University is a very proud leader of this network, and we're so grateful. And that means that we are working together on an ongoing basis. And I can assure you, to the business community of Turkey, I am available to help through this network so that Turkey's business community becomes and remains committed to these important goals and is part of a global network for success. We want Turkey's success. We want Turkey to be a global leader as it is in ideas, in science, in technology, in business. This is so important for the benefit of the entire world. Thank you for letting me be with you today. All best wishes on your conference, and especially please accept my gratitude for all of your hard work towards the Sustainable Development Goals and the Paris Climate Agreement. Thank you very much.